Welcome back to Art at Home with Miss Beth, and I'm Miss Beth, and today we're going to finish up our series on color. So we've talked about cool and warm colors. We've talked about complementary colors, which are opposite on the color wheel. I just gave you an analogous thing to work on, which are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. We talked about triadic colors, which would be, we could do our triadic here, 3 colors within a certain range. Today, we're going to talk about monochromatic. Mono means one, chromatic means color. Monochromatic is making art with just one color. That sounds boring, right? But we will be making tints and shades of that one color. What is a tint? I talked about tints before. Tints are when we add white to a color. So that hue, that pure hue, when it gets white added to it, becomes lighter. Exactly. And we will be making a color lighter, and then its shade is when we add black to a color. So if you add black to a color, what does it make it do? It makes it darker. So I'm going to show you some papers here first. Once again, I was digging into the colored papers that we have. I love the blues. I've got a darker blue, which would be blue with some black. This is my medium blue. It's just straight out blue. And then I've got the lighter blue. And it is used with white. So a lot of white and a little bit of blue. And I also did that with some red. Wait a minute. When we add white to red, it becomes pink. So I've got the darker red, I've got a pink, and then a lighter pink. So this is monochromatic. I'm going to show you some pictures too that I have. So with my monochromatic, you can see this one, we've got the pinks. So you've got, and even this is not black, it's black with a tiny bit of red. It makes it a lot richer. And then the very center here, it's a white with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of red. And that makes it a much prettier color as well. We've got our yellows. When we add black to the yellow, it kind of gets a dirty color, but it's still, it's the shade, and they've modeled those very nicely. You could do faces with this as well. And with the faces, you're doing, the darks will have black, and your hue, your color there, and that would be his hair. And on his face, you can see it's blue. He's got the nice highlights, and that's just by adding a lot of white. Purple is another really pretty one. So someone's made a monochromatic with a dog. And the bottom two are a little bit different. So I've got, this is an actual room. And the whole room, it's a 3-dimensional space. They've set it up with different values of orange. And this is made out of fabric. So they found different textures. They found different greens to put in here. These are really dark green. You've got your lighter green, I think, way in the background. And then you've got some middle values as well. So I'm saying the word value. That is another one of our art terms that we're used. Today we're going to do a value scale. So with this, I've printed this off. I think I will add an attachment to this so that you can play with the colors too. This is a good practice for you. So I have my middle. This is the middle right here. That is my gray, my middle gray value. Added a little white, added more white, and this one is totally white. And going the opposite direction, I added a little black to my gray, added a little more, and then this one is totally black. That's a gray scale. But if we're doing the monochromatic with color, so this was my middle orange, and then I put some orange down, added a little white, added more white, and added a lot of white. And then I did it the other way too. A little bit of black to my orange, more black, and then this is black and orange. I worked on my purples the same way, and today I'm going to show you, I'm going to do blue, because that's my favorite color. So, I have a medium hue of blue. These are chalk pastels. You can, once again, use anything, as long as you have the one color and a white and a black. Crayons work just as well. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go into the middle, because there are 7 different squares here. And the chalk pastels are super messy. I do have my towel to wipe my hands off when I'm done. Okay, So, and a lot of dust. So, middle, that's my middle blue. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to add some blue, a little less blue, a little tiny bit of blue. Just like so. And then I'm going to do my whites, because this is the lighter part of my scale. And with chalk, you can see I did my, it's kind of messy. Sometimes you can just wipe it off so that it works. So I'm going to add white to all three of these, and I'm going to add more the further I go. And with the white, it kind of will blend in a little. So there's one, and then this one I need a lot more so that we can actually see. And I will hold this up here in just a minute. Okay, let's see if I did that well enough. I think I'll need a little more. Let's do a little more white there. Aha. So I have a monochromatic with tints. So my medium blue, and then I made tints, different values of the tint. So I need my blue again. And this time we're going to make shades. What do I need for shades? Black. So I'm going to add my blues to the next squares. I'm going to add more blue than I did on the others because this we want it darker. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my black. I'm going to add a little bit, and I have to blend with my finger for this because it didn't blend as well as the white did. The white kind of mixed it on its own. Okay, black. And then now I'm going to make it really dark. You may not even know there's blue there, but I'm going to, if I need to go back and add a little bit more blue so that we can see it, I'm going to do that. Just for a hint of blue. Maybe I want a little more here too. And you just want it to gradually change as it goes. So I have shades, my medium value, and then I have my tints on that side. So this is something that you can play with. You can do this with 3 different colors and before you begin your project. So we are gonna do a project today. Let me wipe my hands off because that is, as you can see, super messy. I'm gonna get a little water on there too. So we are going to make a value scale, and I'm going to use tempera. You can use anything you want for these. So what you're going to need your medium. Today mine is going to be tempera. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need some paper. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. I made this an odd number because I want to be able to change this so that we have a medium. I started out with 6 and I thought, no, you're not going to understand it if I do it that way. So I have 5 pieces of paper, and the middle one is going to be my middle value. So I'm not going to use my messy chalks right now. I'll put those to the side. So you'll need scissors and a glue stick when we do this. Okay, this is fancy and fun, but this is more practical. So this is an egg carton. I like to mix in these. It's reusable, recyclable. Something just to let you know, you've got it laying around the house. It's really easy to mix with that. So I'm going to start out with, I'm doing blue again. Okay, and what we're going to make, we're going to turn these into scoops of ice cream. And with the ice cream, we're going to put it on top of a cone. So I'm going to start with my middle blue, and my paper, it's cardstock. It's a little bit thicker, but it's not going to matter what you use either. So I am making my middle blue, and I'm just painting. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to get all the white, because we're going to go back in and cut these so that they end up looking like an ice cream cone. Okay, I have blue on my brush still. So I have white in here right now, so I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to mix it into the white. So I do have the blue and the white, and I'm going to make a tint. And I'm going to fill my paper. You can see that blue still. Good enough. You can see my paper's kind of crinkling up. It'll flatten out before I'm done here. So I have 1 tint. We're going to do 1 more. So we need it lighter than this. What do I need to do to make it lighter than this? Add more white. That is what I'm going to do. My brush still has it on there, so I'm just going to dip into the white. Let's see if I can get, it'll be lighter than this. What flavor do you think this would be? That could be a fun thing to do too if you thought about all the different flavors that you could have with this blue ice cream. And you can see there's a difference in them. So those are my tints. This is when we have to clean our brush. If we kept the brush like this, because we're going to add blacks to make shades, your color would come out kind of gray. So try to get as much of that out as you can. Okay, so we need black. I've got black, and I'm going to put some black in here. Okay. So in order to make a shade, I need to have a little bit of black. And I've got my hue, my main blue. I've got a little black there. And I'm going to cover it up. That is super dark. What flavor of ice cream could that even be? Very rich blueberry. So I now have a shade of blue. It's beautiful. We're going to do one more. So if I do one more, it's got to be darker. I'm going to add more black. So my brush already has this black on it. I'm just going to stick it back in the black, and it's got a little bit of blue. We want to make sure, let's see, I'm not seeing, so far I don't really see, let me show you. It's not a lot of blue. Looks like a lot of black. So I'm going to go back in and add just a touch because we need it darker than that one. And you know, I remember learning that if you use black on its own or white on its own, it's kind of boring. You can add just a tiny bit of a color to it, and it immediately makes it rich, whether you're getting the shade or the tint. Okay, I can see a little bit of blue in there. Just a little bit. See now, if we look over here too, they're flattening nice as they dry. And with the tempera, it dries fairly quickly. So this I could use this again. It's gonna, with tempera, it's probably gonna stay wet the rest of the day. So now is the time you're going to cut your, I'd let them dry totally, but you're gonna cut these into round, like a scoop of ice cream. I'm gonna show you the finished piece. And you gotta have fun with it. Oh no, my ice cream fell. So I went back in and drew some lines too for this. So this is my darkest shade of my monochromatic scale. Here we have the blue with black. Here I've got, it's just a little bit, and they're pretty similar to what I did here as well. Here's that medium blue. And you can see I just cut them around. This is my tint of blue, and this is my lightest tint of blue. And then I glued them on down. So you could do the ice cream cones. Maybe you would want to challenge yourself and do the face that we had. Draw yourself. That might be something else I could do with you guys. Draw on your face and then do in a monochromatic scale. Could be kind of fun. But play with this. Have fun. And if you want to send anything to us, we can upload them and we can put them on Facebook for you. And then I can add them to my art wall. Okay. Have a lovely day making your monochromatic color piece and enjoy your value scale as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Stay well. Bye-bye.